Okay, so this is a short question about alkane nomenclature, specifically cycloalkane nomenclature. And the person who asked this was getting confused, or not confused, but was concerned about how to decide where to number cycloalkanes. And so they said they thought they understood the examples, and I'm going to go through that really quickly here. So if you've got a ring present in the molecule, it's almost always considered the parent chain. So for example, here we've got a six-membered ring, so that's cyclohexane. And here we've got the five-membered ring, that's cyclopentane, and then here we've got the four-membered ring, and that's cyclobutane. So that's the easy part, right? Okay, so then the second rule here was number alkyl groups starting with 1 and number around the ring towards the closest group. So let's focus on this middle one here because that's the simplest. We've got three methyl groups, and if we can start on either one, we're going to number them 1, 2, 3, and if we had stuff, we'd number the rest of the carbons that way. And to do that, we're going around the ring towards the closest group, so that means that they're going to have the lowest numbers right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, trimethyl cyclopentane. Okay, so now, and here's I think where the key thing is that is confusing this student. If we have exactly 2 alkyl groups, we can decide which one gets 1 based on the alphabetical order. So if we look at the cyclobutane over here, are we going to number these carbons 1, 2, 3, 4, or are we going to number the carbons 1, 2, 3, 4? And the answer is going to be the green numbers here, because this is an ethyl group and this is a methyl group, and therefore ethyl comes first alphabetically. So we have 1 ethyl, 2 methyl cyclobutane. Now in this first example, notice they're not exactly 2 alkyl groups. There are actually 3 alkyl groups. And so what they've done is they've numbered the alkyl groups starting, they've used this bullet right here. So number the alkyl groups starting with 1 and then number around the ring towards the closest group. So what they did is they said, okay, this methyl is going to be 1, and then this ethyl is going to be 2, and then 3, 4. Okay, so that's how they numbered them. Now, if they had instead started with this methyl group and numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, then the name of this would have been 3-ethyl 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. And you can see the numbers. Okay, so the 1 and the 4 are the same either way, but in the blue numbers that ethyl group ends up with a 2, and in the red numbers the ethyl group ends up with a 1. So since this is a lower set of numbers overall, this is the winner. And so the student suggested this compound, which has 3 alkyl groups on it. We've got 2 methyl groups that I have circled in green, and then we've got 1 ethyl group. So which one do I choose first? Well, there's not exactly 2 groups here, so that picking the one in the alphabet, doesn't necessarily apply. What we want to do is we want to pick a number such that we have, or pick a first substituent and number towards the closest substituent such that we have the lowest combo of numbers. So if I pick one of these methyl groups as, let's say, we'll say this is carbon 1, and then this is carbon 2, and then this is carbon 3, we know this is overall a cyclopentane, so that's going to be part of the name, and we are going to have 2-ethyl 1,3-dimethyl cyclopentane. If we say picked the ethyl first because hey, it comes first in the alphabet, then we'd have to number this carbon 1 and go towards either one of the methyl groups, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would give us instead 1-ethyl 2,5-dimethyl cyclopentane, which, as you can see, has an overall larger sum of numbers than the correct name. So this, all the substituent numbering here adds up to 8, whereas all the substituent numbering here adds up to 5. So that makes this, for several reasons, a better name than that. So we wouldn't use this name, we'd use this name. Alright. Or to speak more generally, this name is down here, the 2-ethyl 1,3-dimethyl cyclopentane is IUPAC approved.